Testing, testing. What's up, everybody? Hope you can hear me fine. All right, what's up, everybody? Like usual, I'll give a few minutes for everybody to come in. Can you guys hear me? Everything good? All right, cool. So we got Chris. Chris popped in, HVACR videos. What's up, man? Jacob Montes, Richie, always here. Adrian G, what's up from Greenville? Loud and clear. Can hear you fine. Awesome. I don't do this as often. I know I skip weeks and stuff, and I feel like I forget how to set all this up. Jonathan, what's up, man? Jacob from West Valley City, Utah. All right, let's see. All right, we got people in here. All right, cool. So welcome to the Reliable HVACR live stream over on YouTube. If you can't stay for the whole show, if you're watching this later and you don't want to watch the whole video, you can want to listen to it on the go. I do have a podcast. This gets uploaded. The audio's ripped and everything, and you can hear it in your car, wherever you listen to your podcasts. And today's topic is kind of like a comment that I got. So a question that I was asked was what manifold I recommend and whether it would be a 3-port, 4-port, and I'm gonna go into it a little bit deeper as far as like digital, analog. I think that kind of perspective has changed over the last few years. I used to always recommend analog, but it's kind of hard to do that now, and all the refrigerants are changing. We're kind of starting to see that more, or I'm starting to see it more down here because we're the last ones to get everything. I'm in South Texas. A lot of you guys actually get a lot of viewers from Texas, which is really cool. You know, seeing the fellow Texans. Chris is over in Riverside, California. Chicken Food is from Oregon. Jonathan Estrada is from Florida. So we got a good mix here, and I saw Utah and South Carolina earlier. So, like I said, we're the last ones to get a lot of this stuff. I never had any of those beacon systems. We're starting to see the Heatcraft Intelligen stuff here, but before that, it was just all mechanical. We didn't, see that stuff. And then as far as refrigerant, I think we went away from R22 pretty quick, but people are surprised that we're still stuck on 404. I even have some 134. I have to carry that because I still work on a few of those reach-ins that run on 134. And then, of course, I stock 410. So I have not gotten into yet the 422s, the A, B, all that different type of stuff. I know some other guys have told me or recommended some new refrigerants that are coming out, that kind of phase out the R22 and the 404 stuff. But we haven't dove into that, but I think we're going to have to do that pretty soon. Kanga, thumbs up. Lorenzo, good to go. Kanga, you're from New York, upstate. C Young HVAC, Oklahoma. Chris, I'm a 4-port guy. I prefer not to use a built-in micron gauge, but it's nice to have in certain situations. So I say 4-port, fancy digitals. And Cali Cuts is from California as well. 3-port, or Kanga suggests 3-port for new guys, and after a few years, go digital. Yeah, so I've always been the one to recommend digital. Now, when you have, recommend analog. So when you have analog, right, you kind of have to learn how to read it, and it's not going to just give you straight up your superheat and subcool. This is what I rocked for a long time, or not that long. I had a yellow jacket before this, but I really enjoyed using a 4-port, and mine was analog, perfectly fine. That's the way I had mine set up. I needed 410. I only put it on the low side there, because if you're hitting 500 on the high side, you got an issue anyway with 410. So that's a setup that I had, and of course you gotta. I used to carry one of these in my back pocket, so we had a pressure temperature chart, and it gave you all the refrigerants. So you would do your own calculations, get your temp off the chart on the analogs, and then you would, do your math there, get your superheat and subcool the old school way. And I always had one of these in my back pocket, so this was, what we had to carry around. Now you can also have an app. I do have, I think Danfoss has one. And there was one that I had specifically for just pressure temperatures, which was this one. It's just called HVAC PT chart. So you can go in here and do a conversion, have all the refrigerants that you would need, kind of go through it, and then get your temperatures that way. So, I mean, nowadays everybody has it easy. You go on the phone and do a lot of this stuff. And then you buy your digital manifolds, and it's all done for you now. But yeah, I had a 3-port, now a 3-port, or like when I started, and I have a 3-port as a backup. But like Chris was saying, if you're going to buy one and you want to invest, I would highly suggest the 4-port. Now, yeah, you don't want to be pulling a vacuum through the manifold, and you sure as hell don't want to be using the micron gauge off of it. But you're going to run into situations where you can't hook up a nice fancy, like I have the True Blue hoses, and I even have like a 3/8, I think it's a yellow jacket with the 1/4-inch fittings, or the 1/4-inch on one side and the 3/8 on the other. And you're going to use core removal tools with that. But I work on reach-ins, I work in kitchens, so I work on a lot of small systems that are in like hard to reach places. So a lot of times I can't even get those core removal tools on there. That blue hose definitely won't fit on some of these systems, and you need a depressor. So for that, I do hook up the 4-port. Try to hook up your own micron gauge, but pulling a vacuum through a manifold is kind of the last resort, but it's good to have. So I'd rather, have it and not use it as much, or try not to use it as much, than I'm there and I can't even hook up anything because, my other hoses don't fit, my True Blue or whatever. But if I had a 4-port, I could easily hook up and pull a quick vacuum and do it that way. So the 4-ports and pulling through the gauges, I think, have its place. Not recommended, but it's going to get you out of a jam sometimes. And I see people talking about yellow jacket. My backup is a yellow jacket. I just changed out the gauges on those for another brand. I think it's called HC Pro or something. These are yellow jacket gauges on an Imperial manifold. It's just one that we had, and I liked it a lot. Kind of retired this one. It's in my personal vehicle if I ever need it. Yeah, like Chris said, those big blue hoses won't work inside a kitchen. They're for the rooftops. So a lot of guys might only do AC work. So go ahead and, get those blue hoses, have your vacuum set up, use that every time. But if you're doing a lot of reaching work, like reaching coolers, reaching freezers, they have some weird, awkward uh, service ports, and you can't always use that. And like I said, I had these set up. So this one reads R22, 404, and 410. And then on the other side, it was 404, 134, and I think R22. So like I said, I got away with that setup because I work on a lot of coolers and freezers. So I needed the 404, and then I needed to know, at least on the high side, what my 134A was. 134A is very low on the suction side, but I needed to know if my head pressure was too high or something like that. So that's how I had mine set up. And now we do 407C. And I mean, you can kind of get away with it. You get an idea of it through the R22, but it's not the same at all. It's just very close. So that's where we kind of have an issue now, where we have too many refrigerants, and it's kind of hard to recommend getting analog. So I have a tough time defending these now. But again, you can do that. You can get a PT chart, whether it's paper or on your phone. And I still use my analogs. If I need a conversion, like I said, I pull up my phone and use the app for it. So it's not that big of a deal. You do have to do some conversions there. All right. So yeah, like Kango was saying, he suggests a 3-port for new guys, and then to go digital after a few years. So if you're new and you want something that won't break the bank, of course, go analog. I would still recommend a 4-port if you're going to buy one. A 3-port, I think, is a good backup. So you can do your checks with it, and you can hook up to basically any system out there. If you have a nice 3-port, like a Yellow Jacket, or I have an Imperial right here, and that'll get you by. But if you're looking to buy one and kind of invest in one, I had a 3-port S-Man, and I regretted not getting a 4-port. So even on my analogs, like I said, I went 4-port, and I used it a lot. I used the hell out of that. Again, because I do a lot of reach-ins, and I needed to pull vacuums without busting out all the hoses, or even at that time, I didn't really invest in that stuff. So, like I said, for not breaking the bank, a nice 4-port analog is a good start. And then you get multi-use out of it. You can do, like I said, a vacuum with it. You can charge with it. And then you have, the luxury of having a separate hose, because I don't like to mix them personally, for your vacuum and for your charging and all that. Chris, I have big issues with 407C on carrier package units with a fixed orifice header. Gas doesn't do well for me above 105 ambient. I don't think I think we had one unit that was, what do you call it, R22? But we didn't really work on that one. All the carrier ones down here are 410. The only R22 ones we have are train. So we haven't had that issue. We decided to use 407C personally because I can use it on the AC side and the refrigeration side, and I have no issues, because I had issues with, I didn't like MO99, and I did not like, the one we had was 427A, and I couldn't get them working properly. At least on the cooler side, because like AC work, it wasn't horrible, and everything kind of worked, but when I brought it over to my walk-ins, I couldn't use those. 407C is what worked for both. And then the compressors that we put in from Copeland actually recommend 407C. So like I said, mostly what I see is train though. The only carriers we have, which we do have quite a bit, for one customer that has like 20 stores, those are all going to be 410, so we haven't had that issue. I don't think I've ever had, I think I had one or two that had the issue with the header, but they were really old systems and I kind of had to write them up for new ones anyway. All right, let's see. And if you guys have any input, recommendations, go ahead and leave them in the chat. We'll go through them right now. Santiago, I'm new. I'm totally digital, but I learned on analog before switching over, which is cool. I think a lot of guys will tell you that they rather you learn on analog and then go digital. And then some people will see it as like digital's too easy. You want to go through that, doing all your conversions on your own and stuff, so you can really get an understanding of how to do superheat and subcooling yourself without having to rely on an app or your S-Man to do it. So, and that's how we learned on analog, and then we switched over. But when I started in the field, it was the original S-Mans, I think they were a little bit bigger. I broke mine a couple times, so. I do have a S-Man, the 4-port now, and I only take it down for like changeouts or, compressor swap, something where I'm like pulling charge and then weighing it in, and then I need to see how the system runs, and I don't want to be removing different things. I just want to have the manifold on there. But I don't take it down every day because I don't want to be risking that I'm going to break it, because I've broken a couple. Which is the other thing. You break an analog, you bust one of these or something doesn't work, you just take this off and buy a new one and pop it on there. These things, you can take off the knobs and you can kind of rebuild it a little bit. They're easier to work with and repair, whereas like the field piece ones, at least for me, I had to send them out to get replaced or fixed. All right, let's see what's in the chat. Richie, cool that my gauges. Oh, you started with those two. Jonathan, analog for the rack side and digital for the case side. Interesting. So you guys do supermarket? I know you're from around here, so that's kind of interesting. I've never done supermarket. I wanted to at one point, and I kind of got intimidated once I saw everything that they do. And we used to have the IHOPs, and then we were gonna get the stripes, but I was like getting like burnt out from those 24-hour. They're open 24 hours, and they call you in the middle of the night when everything goes down. Dude, you're 40 minutes from field piece? Nice. Oh, man. They're always really cool about it, like I said, I sent mine out a couple times. They were pretty quick about it. Because I work with my dad, he was like so pissed. But that was before I organized my van. Like, my van used to be a mess for my first few years, first 5 to 6 years. And I just didn't put things away, and I ended up breaking it just from driving around. It fell, or something fell on it, and it broke. Tech Tie Emerson, check charge app is okay. I think I've seen the Dan Foss one. I haven't seen the Emerson one. Lyndon, broke my 460 field piece. Need a new manifold. Oh, it sucks when that happens. Richie still rocking the analog yellow jacket. I am a big fan of the yellow jacket as far as like the analogs. Not too sold on their digital stuff yet, their wireless stuff, but it looks like it looks like it's a neat system. I wasn't into them when I looked at them. What vacuum pump you got, Richie? Ray's apartment maintenance. What's up? Santiago, orale. Richie, no need for blue hoses. Yellow jacket has everything you need, and he leaves a part number. I have the yellow jacket vacuum hose. It's a 3/8 one. Really, on the kitchen stuff, they don't have huge systems pulling through the gauges. Generally, not that big a deal. Totally agree. So I work on a lot of like low boys, make line coolers, like prep coolers, and it's a small system. I'm not there a long time when I'm pulling through the manifold. Just make sure you get a good vacuum, and it'll work for that. Like once you get to bigger rooftop units, pull out the bigger hoses that you might have, and if not, those would take all day. HVAC video is still a rookie. I have issues with 407C and fixed orifice water source units. So it looks like 407 is not good with orifices, fixed orifice. Chris, I have at least 75 carrier package units with R22 still in them. I need to get rid of them. But I've heard you in your videos, and it's apparently harder for you guys to get all the, I don't know if it's the permits or whatever, to do that kind of work, like replace them. And that's why you repair a lot of them. We love to repair. I love to get things going. My customers appreciate any little dollar we save them. So like I do a lot of repairs on like really old systems, but it doesn't take much for us to change them out. We got a permit. We don't have to deal with too much. The cost is not that high. And, we're in and out. I actually have a change out to do, but it's probably going to get pushed back till next week, which will be an interesting one because we are by the beach. But right now, where I live, I'm far enough where it doesn't affect us. But the one that we're going to is like right off the beach. All the units rusted out, and the one that we're replacing, we're gonna see how it goes. It's in the compressor compartment. The floor is giving out, like it already has holes in it. So where it started raining, they were getting a bunch of water inside. So they had us condemn, or we condemned it, and then because it had like everything was broken on it. So the salt water got to it. They had us where we condemned it, and then they had us tarp it off in the meantime because they didn't want to buy a new unit. But we finally got it in. It's the new one is a 12.5 ton. I need to make sure that they ordered the right one. But yeah, we were pulling out permits for it the other day. We're gonna get that one going, but they're gonna need all of them replaced. The makeup airs were on the floor, toppled over because they rusted out. I couldn't even pick them back up. And then the walk-ins are also starting to mess up really bad. So they're gonna need like a whole new, like everything on the roof replaced. Which, I mean, is good for us. The rookies don't understand subcooling. Very important. More so on some stuff, but you got to know both superheat and subcool. I've tried a lot of them. 422D seems to work okay. That's from C Young HVAC. Let's see. Richie loves MO99. I got turned away from it because I went to, I mean, now granted, I don't know the quality of work that was done at this location, but I took over for a like fancy type of restaurant. They have a lot of rooftop units that were Linux, and everything was bypassed, so there was a lot of crappy work done there. But all the compressors, at least on one and maybe half of another one, so maybe like 5 in total, had been changed out. They had a graveyard on the roof. You went up there, saw like 5 of them laying on the floor. All the new ones were marked with MO99. And sure enough, I mean, I didn't have time to get into it too much. I was just fixing problems, you know, one by one as they came up. And they were a new customer. I wasn't familiar with them, but like, I think 2 of them already had given out. So that, and then from what I've heard from other people, they call MO99 a compressor killer. I forgot the reasoning for it, but it's just from what I've heard. So I think we had it once. We had 1 tank on our truck. We used it. I guess it was okay, but I didn't really care for it. So we were still looking. We finally settled on 407C. Mark says 407A for refrigeration. Lorenzo, yup. HVACR, 40 minutes from field piece. Let's see. Late night stuff sucks. We used to get those all the time. Luckily, we have a good clientele now. And at the moment, I think they all are fast food or like dinner places, so they don't even open till 10. So I can do whatever I need to do ahead of time. A lot of them don't get there till 9 at the earliest to prep, you know, the kitchen or whatever. So right now I haven't had too many overtime crazy calls or anything. I used to have a customer like that. Permits are a nightmare, yeah. For us, it's easy. I don't have an issue replacing stuff, but I've heard up there or over there it's pretty bad. Permits, what you talking about, Willis? I've had guys tell me, why are you pulling permits? Do it on the weekend when nobody's watching. Yeah, not gonna do that. Let's see. R422B runs at lower pressures. I have not tried any of those. I think that's the one that got recommended to me. We have not tried it. Yellow Jacket vacuum pump. Juan, what's the new Freon coming out in 2025? That phase out, isn't that the R32, something like that? We'll see when that gets completely phased out, but I don't know. We're starting to notice the equipment we're getting is you know, the more efficient equipment. We're starting to get the train units, which I'm curious because we have a train to install at that beach location. The train unit that they showed me was a lot bigger than the original. So I'm going to make sure that it's the same tonnage and everything because the customer orders their own parts or their own equipment. So it looks oversized on the It's like wider than the old one, but I'm wondering if it's because they added a lot of stuff. Because I'm starting to see train units that have microchannel evaporators. So we've all, seen the microchannel condensers, the coils for a while now. I've never seen the microchannel, the aluminum evaporator coil. And I saw one recently, or we installed one recently a couple months ago or a few months ago. And that was the first time I'd seen that. So these other ones look even newer. So we'll see what they look like. Let's see. Richie, the Yellow Jacket wireless are great. No internet needed. Well, they're all Bluetooth. You just hook them up to your phone, which is the only drawback. So, yeah, like my choice, because it fits in the bag so well, is always going to be the field piece probes. So I have one of these, and a lot of you guys were asking me about the depressor. This is just one of those, I don't know, they're called like thumb screws or something, where you can hook it up and it won't depress anything, and then you kind of screw in and out the actual depressor. This one is from AccuTools, so truetech.tools.com. Definitely find out on there. I ordered one to try it out. I do like it. The profile it's compact. So this one stays on my high side probe, so I don't get refrigerant burn. And then Chris actually showed off the Appion ones. It's basically the same thing, but it's a lot bulkier. It looks heavy duty, and I think like the cap, it has a cap for this side, but it's attached to it, so you take it off and it just hangs on there. So I thought that was kind of cool. Those I'm going to use for, I think they just got shipped because they were, after you did the video, Chris, they went out of stock. I think I waited a few minutes because I was making sure that I wanted them. And then a few minutes later, they were sold out. So I think they finally shipped. But those I'm going to use for vacuums on those Cormax fittings, because my True Blue hoses don't have depressors, so I needed something to depress them. Yeah, they were like 10 to 20 in stock when I checked after your video. And then I swear I just waited like 15 to 20 minutes because I didn't know. I had other things that I was trying to put in my cart, and then they were gone. So, yeah, probes are great, but the one downfall is that you got to be on your phone to check them, which I think more customers are aware that we use our phone for different things. But back in the day, especially when I first got them, I got like some weird looks because they're like, what's he doing on his phone? He's supposed to be working. I'm like, no, I am working. I'm checking the pressures. So if you don't want to go that route and you want to go digital, you can get something like a basically they're stubbies, and a lot of people use the analogs for stubbies. They get the gauge itself and then put something on it to connect it, whether it's a short hose or like a adapter with a ball valve on it. These are good. You just hook them up. It gives you the pressure. Now it won't give you the superheat or subcore or anything. It can, because it has this one in particular that Elitech had sent me, has a little port for the clamp, wired clamp, so you can check superheat and subcool with the app. But if you guys just want to check to see if the system even has pressure, or if it's if you're already like familiar with the equipment and you just want a number, those are really cool because you can get something like this. Like these Elitech ones are not bad. They come in a set, and it was like $100 or something. Or you can go analog and just make it a stubby, or Yellow Jacket makes a digital gauge that I bought for some of my guys, so that they can still have the old school, because they're older, the old school manifold, but they have a digital readout on the gauge. So you can do that, and you can buy those and make those stubbies. Just hook up, something to connect them to a system, and you're good to go. Only because, like I said, these, you need your phone. And of course you need batteries, so I keep batteries in my tool bag. That's something you have to think about for that. Let's see. Mario, do they have special units for the coast? No. You need to... I don't know where you're from. Are you from around? I can't remember where you said you were from, but... So anything we work on that's by the beach, which I want to say is within 30 to 40 minutes, because after that, we don't really have anybody. It's like dead space. You need to make sure that you put a coating at least on the coil. But I think when we put this one in, I'm going to try and get some of that coating on the weak spots, because like they usually opt for the hail guards and stuff like that. So we might have to spray the hail guards. I've never done that before. And then on the current units that they have that are falling apart, where the condenser coil is, basically that panel, there's like these corners, the pillars, right there where the fans are, that connect the top panel with the fans down to the bottom. Those already cracked off. I don't want to touch it because it hasn't moved, but those have already rusted and cracked at the very bottom. So I don't know. We might have to coat the coil and then some of the weak spots that we've noticed on the older units, so that the new ones don't do that, because they had us install like the middle unit. They have, I believe at that one they have 3 units, maybe 4. We replaced the one in the middle. They bought it. We installed it. I offered to coat it. I was like, it's not a big deal. I just buy the coating. I go do it. I'll charge you for the trip, whatever, because it wasn't in our quote. Or even when we were doing the quote, they were like, no, we got it. Well, we got a guy that'll coat it. So I think they did coat the coil, because the coil looks fine, but the hail guard is already like, it's gonna, deteriorate already. It's already it's a nice new unit with brown already all over it. It's already rusted. It's like not even a year old. Charles, MO99 does not work well with 3D scroll compressors. Yeah, maybe that's what I heard. I know some people just like warned me about it. Guys out there that rock MO99, don't pull a vacuum or recovery. That's how they kill compressors. That's why I said I don't know the quality of the work that was done. Which is a shame, and which is why I try to post as much as I can. I'm not perfect. If you see anything I've done wrong in my videos, it's fine. Bring it up to me. As long as you're not, a jerk about it or whatever. And even if you have some remarks, whatever, I will try and do better the next time, and I will learn from it, and I will look it up. I will do my research. Because I won't know everything. Like, nobody does. So, it's a shame though that some companies or some techs, refuse to improve, get better, research this stuff. Or even if somebody tells them, they're like, nah, I've always done it this way. It's nothing bad has ever happened. Which in case, like, yeah, you might replace a compressor, a TXV or whatever, and you don't do, a proper vacuum. You don't purge with nitrogen. And then maybe that component that you did doesn't give out, but something else does. It could have been, caused by you. Or you end up replacing the unit before anything gives out. because you want to sell them a new unit. It doesn't make it right. But yeah, like to your point, Richie, I don't like talking too much to some of the local techs, especially the older guys, the really old timers. Because I had somebody that I was talking to. The only thing is, I knew his kid because I went to school with him at my HVAC college. And we were talking about refrigerants, and he couldn't remember what refrigerant he had used or something like that. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's 407C. And then I was like, oh, yeah, like I use that one too. You just have to do the oil conversion change, make sure it's compatible and all that. And he looked at me. He was just like, he had a confused look on his face. And he's like, no, like you don't have to change it. I've done it, never done an oil change, and they all work fine. So I'm just there nodding my head because, like, I mean, I don't want to argue with these guys. Like, I can tell them, but obviously, me even bringing it up, he's like, no, don't worry about it. Like, I don't do that. And some guys don't have micron gauges. Some guys don't have. I saw another guy, which I don't want this topic to go to this, but somebody, I think I took over for a restaurant, but they had just gotten something installed, like an AC unit, and it wasn't working. But to me, from what I quickly saw, it was a faulty thermostat. It was reading like 50, and it wasn't even 50 in there. It was like 80. But I was working on something else, and I noticed a guy on the roof, and I've told you guys before, but to anybody who hasn't heard it, first I saw him go up there with a nice jug of water. I was like, okay, cool. It's hot outside. He has water for himself. I heard bubbling not too long after that. I was packing up for the work that I was doing. And he had a hose in there, and I guess it was a brand new package unit, and I guess he thought it was overcharged. So I heard bubbling, kind of shook my head and went down. I mean, I'm not going to, I don't know. I don't know what to do with in that situation, but not everybody does everything the right way. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Donnell Ballard with the subscription there. Thanks, buddy. Let's see. Tech tie permission. It's. I mean, it's on the company, right? Whoever is running it to get those permits. I run a business with my dad. We're not going to get written up, fined, and even like because I'm the license holder, right? I don't know how it is in other states, but like if you get snitched on, caught, whatever you want to call it, venting, doing something bad, you will end up on the website Hall of Fame. So you can go to in Texas, it's the TDLR website, Texas regulations, and they're going to have your name, your company name, your license number, all the information about you and why you were fined and what you did wrong. So I do not want my name on that list. So I do everything, I get my permits. I have my recovery. I as much as that stuff weighs, I take all that to the roof, billable time, whatever. You don't have to worry about it too much. You can bill the customer. Do all the things and you won't get in trouble. Chris, damn, that wasn't sponsored either. I did, damn well, it should have been. They probably sold out. I know they were new. I guess they sold out that first batch that they had real quick. Tech tie. That's why I park in the back instead of the front. When submitting photos and quotes, don't want to give the impression I'm playing with my phone with the accounts. Yeah, it's hard because, like I said, I think nowadays they're a little more understanding, and a lot of the people that I'm working around, they're kind of younger. The managers are not, or the area managers are not usually around. Especially lately, I haven't run into them too much. But back in the day, I used to have people tell on me. Of course, they're calling, the number. The number goes to my dad's phone. The number on the vans and all that. That's his number. So they used to call and get him, and then they would tell me, or they would tell him, "Hey, this guy you have is just on his phone or whatever." And I'm like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay, but he's the owner too." And it was funny, having to hear that I got in trouble that way, but whatever. My dad didn't care. He's like, I know he's either talking to one of us, because like I also check on other guys or with my dad through text a lot of times. Unless I'm driving, then I'll give them a call. But we check on each other through text. Check on the guys through text. I have to take photos sometimes. If I'm indoors, I don't really record too much, since I have the YouTube and all that. But yeah, and then now I use an app to do my quotes and my invoicing and all that. I have to check in and out sometimes, depending on the customer. Some of them make me use an app. Some of them make me use a phone service. Some of them make me use a website. I have to do all this stuff because of their commercial accounts. So I'm on my phone quite a bit, and then like also checking pressures or looking up a model number or whatever. I'm on my phone quite a bit, but I don't think it draws as much attention as it used to. Advanced basher. I have the older testo probes. They suck with the range. Bluetooth drops all the time. But they change the app much better, or can use with Measure Quick. Measure Quick handles testo and field piece. I want to say they were adding another one, but I can't think if that actually if they actually have any other ones right now. But did you have the first generation testo or the second? I had the second. I didn't like them. I returned them. I went for the field piece, and those have been my go-to. I really enjoy the field piece. The range is pretty good. The only issue I have is when I'm in a walk-in, or I go down from a rooftop and it's like a long distance, because then you got to take into consideration, the thickness of the walls and, what they're made out of, because the range is great in an open field or whatever, but through walls you lose a lot of that stuff. So I had better luck with the field piece. I had a testo. I don't remember if it was a probe or one of their psychrometers or whatever they were, that I could not get a reading right at the door when I was right outside. So at that point I was like, no, I'll get the field piece. I do have the field piece probes, clamps, and I have one psychrometer because I just wanted to try it out before I bought more. I didn't buy the whole set when I started. I bought the set that did not have the psychrometers. But yeah, I returned them real quick, and I went with field piece. But field piece works with Measure Quick too. I have not dove a lot into Measure Quick because I don't do a lot of testing, and I don't do a lot with the AC side. I do more with refrigeration. I do more walk-ins, and a lot of prep table coolers. So for that, I don't really need Measure Quick. I just need a field piece. You know, I use their Job Link app. I just need everything in one screen on a tab that I can kind of like have a glance at, and then like I like having the different tabs for my scale, for my meter. I use the wireless function on my meter a lot. So I don't know. I like to keep it simple. I keep one app for all that stuff. All right, I'm going to pull up my social media real quick. We'll see if we get some more questions. But let me go through the chat real quick. Maru, do I need different manifold gauges for each refrigerant to prevent contamination? In theory, kinda. Now, back in the day, it was just like 2 refrigerants. If you were doing AC work, you could just have one for R22 and one for 410A. It's kind of hard to do that now because there's way too many refrigerants. I don't know if you're in the field or not, but how many refrigerants are you dealing with? I'm dealing with 407C. I don't really see R22, so I carry 407C, 134A, 404A, and 410. I'm not going to carry around 4 different gauges and worry about that too much. So the only thing I would consider or recommend is like when you have, like where we're talking about the 3-port or 4-port manifolds, a 4-port is good, so you don't have mix up or have to use the same hose or change it out if you really want to go that route. For charging refrigerant, you know, when you're weighing it in and all that, and vacuuming. So like if you have a 4-port, you can keep those separate and you don't contaminate your vacuum hose or that side, you know. So that's why in this day and age, you know, this time, it's very hard there's too many refrigerants to worry about things like that. I'm not going to have, like I said, myself, I'm not going to have 4 different gauges and worry about the contamination on that. And then the same thing like with the analogs, like I was saying earlier, you know, they usually make them to have certain refrigerants on there, but now that's kind of obsolete. And you're either going to use a PT chart or your phone to do a conversion of some sort. And if you think about it, they're going to be changing out quicker and quicker, right? They already want to phase out 410, and we've only been using it for a short while. Everybody just kind of got rid of their R22 recently, unless you have a lot of older systems, like Chris was saying he has a bunch of them, or you do supermarkets. I know it's very big still in supermarkets, so they're gonna keep throwing the new refrigerants at us, having to, you know, phase out different ones, and at that point, don't worry about, you know, having different gauges or anything like that. So. What's up, everybody? What's up, TJ? All right, let's see where we at. Mario, San Antonio, that's right. You guys told me that. I was like, I know you're from Texas. So you don't, like, you're in the middle of Texas, so you don't really see like what happens with those units by the coast and all that. All right, hold up. What happened, Jacob? 427A, Chris. I don't know. I think I didn't have too good of luck with that one. Jonathan, you should become a vendor for Walmart for refrigeration. Like the supermarket stuff? I don't know. We were getting into their I don't know. I didn't go and talk to them, but one of our guys mentioned that they wanted us for like the bakery or the restaurant area, which I was fine with because I was like, I'm not gonna do the supermarket, the floor. But if you have us in a restaurant or a bakery, wherever you cook, I mean, I could see us doing that. If you have a connection, let me know. I think we're gonna start taking on a little more work. So I'll probably hit up a few places, see if there's anybody that needs service. TJ, I learned how to charge superheat subcool on analogs and upgraded to digital. Still have the analogs for backup. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Let's see. Where did the oil go? I don't know, man. When I talk, that's why I don't know. Like, it's cool talking to you guys that do this work, and you're online. You're obviously trying to do a decent job or trying to be better or whatever. And then it's cool to talk to other YouTubers like, Chris is in here right now, him, Rick, Steve, Ryan, all these guys, Angel, and even on Instagram, there's Jeff, Mike Mayberry, Michael Flynn, all those guys that are on there, and it's cool to talk to them because you understand what I'm talking about or trying to do in my videos or anything like that. But I don't know, when I'm around people locally, I've started to kind of dumb down the way I talk about work, and it kind of sucks, which is why I like doing, the whole YouTube, Instagram thing so much, is because I like talking to people that actually understand what I'm saying and agree with, doing vacuums and all that stuff. Instead of like, oh, whatever, we've done it this way for so long and it's always worked. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like to talk too technical because every time I do, I feel like I regret it. And they're like, nah, you don't need to do that. Richie, I had a guy from manufacturer tech support tell me to use a bucket. I was shocked. I love my lungs. I save them for the green stuff. I don't know. I've never had that kind of interaction with tech support. Bill, what's this subcooling thing everybody talks about? Oh man, like yeah, when we started, or when I started, but when everybody started too, like, what is all this stuff? Let's see. I started with analog, tried to test those. Terrible time with the app. Went back to analog. I guess I need more convincing. I'm an old timer. I'm trying to remember their app. I think Fieldpiece does a really good job of their simplicity on their app. So I don't know, if you were to try out any other one, I would try Fieldpiece. And then like I said, everything, if you have Fieldpiece or you're looking to get into that ecosystem. Their meter is wireless. Their S-mans are wireless. Their scale, their micron gauge, and they all use the one app. You just hit different tabs and you can check all of them. So I don't remember how the Testo one was. I only used it for like a couple weeks, returned it. DIY reclaim. I would stop him, bring the recovery and tank. Funny enough, you know, that guy that I was talking about with the water recovery, I had to take out because I had a system that was overcharged on the other side of the building. So we had crossed paths, and I was taking down my recovery and my tank and all that, and my scale. Like I was trying to take out a certain amount, and it was just a little awkward because, you know, he's going up there with his water jug and I'm taking all my equipment down, and we're doing the same thing. We're trying to take out refrigerant, but I don't know. Yeah, curious HVAC guy Bill in the house. As a quick take on what you all are required to do to get a contractor's license in Texas, from OK, may do some work there one day. You said you're from Oklahoma? I mean, in Texas, it's like, what is it, like 4 years experience. Take a test. It's open book. Not as easy as it sounds, but it wasn't too bad. Curious. I guess my notifications are turned off or I'd be here sooner. Appreciate you being here. All hands on deck for the pants party. Carlos, I'm from McAllen, Texas. South Texas. Oh, you're from New Braunfels, so like, what is that, like 4 or 5 hours? I'm like further down. Opinions on Vito bags, Tyler. They're the best. Honestly, if you want to invest in them, they don't rip. And if they do, they have warranty. I had a lot of CLC bags, in particular a backpack, and both straps kind of ripped on me. So I have the Vito now, and I've never had that issue. So highly recommend them. And every spring, it's basically buy one get one free. So it's a good time to buy them. Tristan, I believe in the UEI. I forgot about them, to be honest. UEI. I think Appion also has something. I think people were telling me, from what I remember, I've seen them before. Appion has ones that look like this. This one here is an Elitech. I don't remember how long they've been out. They're not super well known, but their stuff works. So that's my backup, because I do have the field piece. Lorenzo is field piece away to go for digital probes. So from what I can gather from the chat, a lot of people had issues with the Testos. I had the Testos. I didn't like the range on them personally, and I had the 2nd generation. And then field piece, I don't know, they just have so many things to where I can just buy their brand of like different things and have, you know, basically a wireless everything. Wireless manometers. Their meters are wireless. Their manifolds are wireless. So one app. They all connect to it. I like things, to be simple, and that's how I do mine. And they work with MeasureQuick. If you use that one, MeasureQuick, that app is really good for testing, getting different, or if you hook up, all your psychrometers and clamps and everything, and get a good look at the system. It kind of helps you and tries to tell you what to look for, what should be normal. Um, Man, they put a lot of stuff into that app. I just personally haven't found the need for it, and I like the Fieldpiece app, so I haven't given it another chance. The MeasureQuick. Mario, for videos, I would suggest digital manifolds for instructions. Good point. Chris, Fieldpiece is his jam. Jam is my jam. Richie always with the rooster. Yeah, Chris. In my video, but it's usually at the end. If I'm outside talking, or in my tool review videos also, because I've been doing them outside, my neighbors have a crap load of roosters, and they are so damn loud. But apparently a lot of the guys like them, so yeah, inside joke on the channel is the roosters. I got roosters on one side and I got cows on the other. We don't really have any livestock, but you can hear the surrounding animals and whatnot. Right on. HVAC Misfit Fieldpiece app, and they recently updated it, so it looks even nicer. Emmanuel is a plumber, and you want to do HVAC. Plumbing and HVAC, they tend to go hand in hand. You can probably find a company that does both, and then transition. But the easiest way to get started in HVAC is to what do you call it? Try to get a job there, be a helper, or an apprentice. Learn on the job is the easiest, quickest way. They'll train you. They're always looking for good techs or ones that are willing to work and learn. Yeah. Shantha. I'm sorry, I can't say your name, but I'll check my messages later. I've not gone through those. Angel, HVAC boss, what's up? TB1, what kind of haircut is that? It's a hat, bro. Let's see. Richie, the only reason he watches my videos is for the damn roosters. Tacti, in my opinion, Lorenzo, Fieldpiece, pressure probes, and Testo temperature clamps. Testo clamps have a better reading. I think Fieldpiece uses a K-type style sensor. MeasureQuick does both. I don't know, maybe it was my clamps. When I had the Testo ones, I didn't like them too much. But that's what I've heard, is that people like the clamps on those better. Angel HVAC Boss is on my Instagram feed or live. HVAC Tactical After Party, Atlanta. I'm gonna be North Atlanta. I was not paying the price to stay downtown. You use BlueVac or Appion for valve core removal tools. I just started using the Appion. I really like the way they're built. I've only used them like twice so far, but I like them. Chris is out. Thanks for tuning in, man. Let's see. LED Handyman is on lunch break to watch. What's up, man? He's in his residential energy class. Joshua New Braunfels, what's up? Young HVAC Riverwalk in San Antonio is the top of my go-to list. You get tired of it when you're from here. Just had my Black Max gauges stolen yesterday while on a job. That sucks, man. Deciding between Testo and Philippines, but not sure which one to go with. The field piece ones. Okay, look. Testo, I don't know if they fixed it. The button on the field piece is flush, kind of indented. You don't accidentally press it. But on Testo, they stick out. Or they did. I had the second gen. I turned them on several times in my bag. Not always, but I would find them dead a lot. And then on these ones, I haven't accidentally turned them on. And then like that's a hold to turn on the Testos. It was a tap to turn on. So I would accidentally turn them on a lot. And then on this one, if you double tap it and it turns red, they won't turn off. They bypass the auto off function. So if you double tap it and you get that red flash, they'll stay on until you come and turn them on off physically, which is something I really liked because a lot of times I would put these on a system and I had to take a break or go to the van for something, and it took me more than 15 minutes or something. These would shut off. And then, like, what's the point of having wireless gauges or probes if you leave a long distance and you're like, oh, I can check them. Oh, they turned off. Like, that sucks. So I don't think Testo had a way to remove the auto off. So personally, that's one of the features that I liked about it. Also, they're a little bit longer than the Testos, but they're a lot slimmer. They're thinner. They fit in the bag a lot easier. They fit in the pockets on the like outside pockets of the Vito bags. They fit a lot easier. The Testo ones are a little shorter and fatter. And I don't remember how many batteries the Testo one takes. This one takes AAA, 2 of them. I don't know. I preferred the field piece for a lot of different reasons. Angel says he has a mansion Airbnb for Atlanta. Saturday night we'll be going down. We were actually talking to, or Chris was on his live the other day, and he mentioned he'll be there Saturday. I will be there Saturday, but I ended up having to get a later flight. I won't be there till like 11, I think, at night. Because he had mentioned about going out, probably for dinner, but you know, with a bunch of the YouTubers. But I don't know. I'm gonna check, but I think my flight. I don't know. Something was going on with my flight. I couldn't pick my seats that I wanted to. I just ended up getting the next flight. HVAC Misfit field piece. Testo for me feel cheap. Field piece set is better on batteries, but when they run is better on batteries. They run great. What's up? What's up? DIY HVAC guy. Central Therm. All right, let me get back on the chat. Let's see. Rookie refrigeration in the house. A lot of guys have been asking about you, bro. I don't know if you're still in here, but yeah, your name has come up a couple times. Like, where is that guy? Let's see. Are you all Cefesa cert? My dad is. I don't work on cooking equipment. My dad does that. He had the Cefesa. He ran another company before he opened up this one. Was like technician of the year and all that stuff. So he handles that side. I just have to worry about HVAC. So I have my air conditioning, refrigeration license here in Texas, and I'm good. Rookie, what have you been up to? Everybody wants to know. And Rookie, you said you were from, or you've been to the Valley, right? I think I had seen you somewhere in the chat, and you said you were from here, or you've been here. What's up, Dave? Not much, man. I'm live on YouTube. The legend Rookie in the motherfucking house. One of the best teachers on YouTuber University. A lot going on, going with the flow. Nate, HVAC boss. He's over on the Instagram feed right now. I don't know if he's still here or not. Yeah, I would love to see some more supermarket stuff. I haven't seen any from too many people. It was a Rookie refrigeration, and then Refrigeration Confidential, and he also hasn't posted in a long time. Yeah, Rookie, long time no see. Everybody's like missed your videos. A lot of love for the Rookie. Oh, HVAC boss hopped over. Hold on. Trying to catch up. Hold on. Cardio is key, Rookie. Take it slow, master the 1 mile, then move to the next. Lorenzo, thanks for answering me, Adrian. Last week when I asked you about work boots, my boss helped me get some Keen work boots. Awesome. Glad he helped you out. Yeah, I don't remember what I said, but Keen is one that pops up a lot when I ask like for recommendations. So I'm sure you got a good one there. How many hours do you average a week? Technically 40. It's up and down, man. Like I work for myself, basically. I do take a lot of the overtime calls. So lately it's been calm. So I haven't worked too many weekends, maybe one or two in the past 3 months. I don't know, maybe a handful. But yeah, right now we don't have any locations that open up too early. We do have a hospital, but we're on a maintenance with them. So nothing has really broken down too much, at least on my side. The hot food side has picked up quite a bit. So those guys are working hard, but you know, I work for myself, I have my own hours, try to get around 40, and I'm good with that. If I don't work that much, I mean, I'm also in the office, I'm also doing like other things. That's not me being in the field, so to speak. But yeah, like if I don't work a lot, I end up volunteering, which ends up being a lot. Like when the overtime calls do come in, like I don't mind going. If I didn't work that much during the week, I had a day off or a half a day, I feel good. I'll go out there on the weekend or whatever and do the calls. BK S-Man 480. HVAC boss, let's talk about the awards show. Well, let's talk. Wait, what did he say? 11 p.m. starts is when it starts getting good. Well, I'll see you. I don't know. Maybe I'll see you on Saturday. If not, Sunday. Um, I told Ben if he needs any help, me and my brother will be there. I think he said he would be needing some help. So I don't know. Sunday we're not doing much. We'll go help him out, and then we got the award show, and then who knows. Joshua saw that you use Jobber, going to give it a try. About to launch my company next month. For sure, man. If you have any questions, I'm going to try and do more videos on it. I just haven't had a chance. I'm currently like setting up some maintenance stuff in it. But if you have any questions, let me know. It's a one app for everything. So you can have your price list in there. You can have all your clients loaded up. And it's really easy. You email stuff out, print it out, whatever you need to do. Let's see. Oh, Ricky's originally from Brownsville. That's about a little less than an hour from us. That's cool, man. I'm from Mission. I service, the whole area here, the whole valley. Still learning. That's what we all should be. Oh, whoa, DIY Dave came in. All right, let's see. What questions do you get most here on your live streams? What are your thoughts on the RLS crimp systems? So many haters. I saw that you did a video. Let me close this one out. Yeah, man, I saw that you did a video. I haven't looked through your comments or anything. And you were using the RLS one. I have that one. I have yet to use it. And they're, the people that RLS are really cool. If you ever want to reach out to them over on Instagram, they're pretty, what do you call it? active. So I was able to contact them. I got the guy's phone number who, you know, deals with all that stuff. Even if you have questions, you know, Paul's the guy that we talk to. Um, it has its place. I will do a video on it eventually. The system that I want to try it on is going to be a walk-in. I think I'm going to do a walk-in freezer with it. And it's going to make it super simple, right? You don't take your torches down. You don't have to take your nitrogen down unless you're going to do a pressure test. You don't have to worry about burning anything like we're going to deal with an EEV, an electronic expansion valve. You won't accidentally burn the rubber, the suction line. What do you call it? Man, I am like burnt out right now. The suction line insulation, you know, all that stuff. So, and then I don't know if you guys are doing kitchen work or anything around food. I hope you guys are, because I didn't do it for a while. And when you turn on your torches, you know, you have a little oxygen open, cracked open, so you don't get all that ashes and stuff in the air. Because if you work around food, or I work also in hospitals, you know, that stuff has to land somewhere. So I don't know. I see it really helpful around sensitive areas, maybe around food. Like I said, hospitals is going to be somewhere that I want to use it to. But everybody has their opinion on it. To me, it's the same whether you braise or you press. If you don't prep, it's not going to work. It's going to leak. And then people have this argument. I think I have photos, and I have some guys that I know that have run into it recently over on Instagram, where they go to a unit, or I think even one of them, it was his coworker trying to braise, and it kept leaking. So there's leaking press fittings that were not properly installed, there's going to be leaking braze joints that were not properly done, or they didn't know how to braze. They didn't do something correctly. They didn't have their torches set up right. They didn't clean it, the pipe. You know, there's different reasons, or, you know, they didn't purge with nitrogen. That's going to cause other issues. So whichever one you do, whichever one you prefer, you need to do it the right way, and you need to prep the line set or the pipes or the whatever you're doing, or it won't work. Either one. If you don't prep for brazing, you don't do it right, it's going to leak too. It doesn't just apply to press. Like, press works fine if you follow all their instructions. And then, you know, for the people that are like, oh, that takes too much time to prep, I hope you're prepping, you know, your braze joints too. You know, you're cleaning them up, getting your nitrogen in there, purging, all that stuff, making sure your oxygen and acetylene are set right. Like, it's not just like you braze and you go or whatever. Like, you prep it. And I get a whole bunch of different questions, man. I try to do this weekly. Lately, I've been kind of busy. You know, we had the holidays. I just got back from my Vegas trip. So I'm like kind of tired from that still. And then I got to get ready for the AHR Expo. So trying to squeeze in some lives here and there. I know I promised, you know, some guests. Maybe Dave, you can come on, DIY HVAC guy. HVAC boss, you need to come back on. That was really, fun when we did the last one. And I don't think I can get Robert Kraft unless I follow or unless I run into him. I don't know if he's going to AHR because his account is nowhere to be found. So I was going to ask him, but I haven't. Let's see. HVAC boss. Yeah. Teach me. I'm going to learn from you. You do. You do, or you know how to run a business. That's for sure, and you know your stuff. Let's see. DIY HVAC guy. I assume RLS will be at AHR. I'm super stoked for it. So you're going? If you're going, yeah, excited to meet you. Yeah, if you're going, I will hit you up. This is my second year going. What sucks is that this year it's not a direct flight, but I'm still going. Last year I had to rush through it. It was overwhelming. I don't know if you've ever been to it, but it's overwhelming. And I also had friends out in Vegas last year. It happened to land on the same week that they were there, so I was running back and forth as well. But I wanted to go this year and then kind of, soak it all in, make sure I meet everybody that I know that is there, and take lots of pictures. Do that stuff. I don't think I'll vlog. They're not very happy with people that are not the press taking photos or videos, so I don't think I'll try that again. But yeah, RLS is there. They're gonna have like a competition, but I think they already picked like some big Instagrammers that are doing it. But they're gonna have like a live competition. I guess they're gonna have them pressing different things, and it's gonna be fun. So RLS is a good booth to be at. A lot of guys hang out there, and they demo everything. They have cutaways. They show you the inside where the gaskets are and everything. It's pretty cool. Nate, reliable. Where are you staying? I just got a hotel in the North Atlanta area. I've never been there. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I didn't want to, or I was close to getting one downtown, like a place to stay there, but it was like double the price. So I think I cut back. So I'll be there. But I'll be at the awards show, and then I'll be at AHR on Monday. I have I at least I think I still have a spot at the Parker Sporlin booth. They said it was some sort of like podcast type thing where I can talk and hang out there. That's Monday at 10:30. I think it's an hour. I'll be there at the booth. And as far as commitments, that's the only thing that I have. So I'll walk around. I'll be at the RLS booth. I'll be at the Subco one for sure. Checking out as much as I can. If you do any hospital work, no hot work permits. Yeah. Hospital work is kind of a weird one. You need a permit. They're not very, and even then, they're not very happy about you using a torch in the building. So that's where I see it being useful. I recently had to work on a unit at our hospital that we service, and I didn't have the press tool at the time, but it was a really small unit anyway. And I used the Zoom lock push fittings, which I think you also demonstrated, Dave, right? The push one. I think you use a different brand, but they look the same. I have the Zoom lock ones, and it worked. I made the mistake the first time because I put it right off the compressor. You just don't want to put it on a discharge line because it gets too hot, obviously. I thought I was going to be in like the safe zone, but I wasn't. So I think it went over 200 degrees and it was too hot for it. But, they have their place. Hospitals are definitely a good one to have it at. Any HVAC boss fans in here? Look, I put we're going to wrap it up soon, right? And this was supposed to be a short one, but I can never keep up with the chat. HVAC boss. I put it out there if the guys, and let me pull it up. If the guys wanted to see maybe a weekend live stream would be easier. And, where I can have like a group of guys on the screen. So I need to find, like 2 or 3 people that want to do that. I just don't know if to do it weekly yet. And so yeah. So far, where am I? It's a yes that they want to see a live stream with a group of us. So I don't know, Angel, if you're ever up for that. I know it's a big commitment, but I need to find a few people that maybe can do it. I don't know if it'll be weekly, maybe bi-weekly or once a month or something where we could just stream and have a little talk about random things. Rookie, I've been away for over a year. I don't know who's popular today. It's kind of the same people. I think the only ones that I've seen really blow up are HVAC guy, which is Curtis, and the DIY HVAC guy that was here, Dave. Those 2 guys have blown up. They're pretty good channels. Other than that, it's the same old, Chris, Rick, the same guys. Damn, I lost my place. Yeah, but Angel hasn't posted in a long time. Yeah, everyone says I do it because I can't braze, but I brazed lots of line sets. I love to braze, but this tool has been awesome. Super excited about it. Yeah. It's a good option, like I said. So I have my oxyacetylene for most jobs. I have a turbo torch that I just started using for like a year now for quicker jobs, or like when I don't want to carry the whole 2 tank setup to the roof. I can just take the acetylene up there and use the turbo torch. Saves my back. I've been trying to do things that are easier to carry and stuff like that since I'm on the roof all the time. And then you have this. Let's say you need to cut out a piece of copper. You need to do something to connect something, press it in, and all that. So options. So like I said, I have the oxyacetylene and then a lighter turbo torch setup. And then now I have the press tool for different, they're all going to be different scenarios. Jonathan, hit me up. All right, bet. DIY Dave, or HVAC guy Dave, will be at the awards ceremony. Excited to meet Ben. Awesome. Yeah, I didn't know if you, like, everybody that knows, those guys, usually you see them on Instagram. I didn't know if you knew Ben or anything, but Ben's a cool guy. He's up in Austin. This award show is like, it's crazy. It's not for like egos, right? It's just, they want to appreciate technicians out there. I think it's really cool. Hope it doesn't get to anybody's head or anything like that. But it's a cool thing to, to attend and meet a lot of these people that you see online. And, I'm very excited as well to meet all those guys because it's going to be a big group. I missed it last year because I missed my flight. There was a whole thing, but I missed it. But now it's like 3 times the size, so that's going to be cool. If you make your service tech a salesman, I don't believe you know how to run a business. HVAC boss has no salesman. Oh, Rookie went on his own recently. Hey, that means you can do videos. Check out your channel. Yeah. Yeah, you should definitely check out his videos. You'll get a good view of how he runs his company. Top notch. One day I will be like HVAC boss. Richie, you're going after everybody today. $27 trucks, 45 employees. Damn. I got 5 and 5. I need to bump it up. All right, let me get through the last of this real quick. 27 trucks on the roof. Okay, hold on. Nate, Adrian, are you going to the HVAC tactical party? Is that the after party? I don't know. I'm going to the award show, which is Sunday night. And then, because I'm going to be there, I'm getting in Saturday. I'll be there Sunday and Monday, and then I'm going to take off on Tuesday. DIY HVAC guy, what's the craziest thing you have seen at the unit? Currently, it's a roof that everything rusted out. So that's still, fresh in my mind. All the makeup air units were toppled over because they cracked, rusted, and fell over. And the compressor compartment, it's a 2-stage train package unit. If you open up the compressor compartment, you can see through the building. It rusted the floor of the unit, and when it rained inside. So we had to tarp it off. And all of those are basically bad. We're going to have to replace all the units up there. And then they recently got the roof redone. You know what that white, I don't know what it's called, that white slippery stuff that all the commercial buildings have. And whoever did the roofing or whatever left all the disconnects on the floor. I walked up there and it had rained, and I think also the drains were backed up and draining on the roof. So there was disconnects, 3-phase, 208 volt disconnects laying in water. So I don't know. That's a pretty bad roof. Other than that, it was one a while back that almost kicked my ass. It was a whole bunch of Lennox units, and somebody ripped out all the wiring. And if you go to my channel, it's the, I don't think you can see it though because I put text over it. It's the banner photo that I have. They bypassed and cut all those wires, and that thing was just icing up like crazy, and we had a bunch of bad boards, and that's the one that had like 5 or 6 compressors laying over on the ground there, so that was a pretty bad one too, and everything was leaking. HVAC Boss is just on Instagram now. You can do those kinds of videos and just upload them to YouTube. I mean, I don't think people would mind. Stay Bright, I have that one. I need to practice with it. I kind of forgot how to soft solder, to be honest. But it does work. It's just that I have like a heavy hand, so to speak, with the torches. So I've kind of I'm not good at, or I need more practice with my soft, like silver soldering. I'm so used to brazing now. Utility cart tech tie. Have you checked out the Olympia carts? If you're talking about just, a cart to put all your stuff and take on the job site. I have 2, but I only carry 1 because I bought both sizes. They have a smaller and a larger one. I would recommend the larger one. But Olympia makes a folding cart. So it folds out and you have the 3 levels to it. So I put my torches, my tools, everything on it. And then when I put it in the van, it folds up and it goes flat, and I just squeeze it in the corner. So I don't know if you've seen that. It's in my tool link. It's the Olympia cart. You can get it off Amazon. Richie needs a hug. Party at the HVAC Boss Mansion. Let's go. Rookie, my goal is 5 trucks, 5 techs. We have... Well, that's exactly what we have right now. We had 5 guys, 5 trucks, and then we had a helper. But right now, we don't have the helper. I don't know. We might need a helper soon, but we have me and my brother that do strictly refrigeration HVAC, and then my dad, another guy, does the hot side, and then the other guy does a little bit of refrigeration. I bet Richie is fun at parties. Anything and everything. Well, he did, Rookie did supermarkets. He does everything. Oh, just no industrial. Gotcha. Richie's going to the tactical party. DIY HVAC guy. The roof story is nuts. I had a skunk and a possum in the same package at once. Owner, ex-police force came out and shot it in the blower compartment. Damn. It's a nice little story there, bro. You can't have any gaps. Yeah, that's the thing, like, because it'll run. Ton of my viewers highly recommend it. I have, it's in my truck. I just haven't really used it. I think I used it once, and I did pretty okay with it. Just like I said, I'm so used to brazing now. I don't think I have the alerts set up, but Sean Norden has subscribed. Appreciate that. All right. Great seeing y'all, being on more frequently, reliable, good stuff. Appreciate it, Rookie. I'll see you soon, I guess. Any advice, or DP, any advice on a 20-year-old trying to get into big companies? Trying to work somewhere, or you're on your own looking for work? Either way, hustle. I didn't meet your quotas. Hustle, network. You know, make friends with everybody. Whether it's a supply house, your coworkers, you know, all that. But I don't know. Like, are you trying to get into a AC company like to work for, or are you on your own looking for work? All right, guys. I think I'm gonna end it. I always tell myself an hour, and it runs 2 hours, but I enjoy talking to you guys. The chat has been awesome. Really appreciate all you here. Forgot to mention, I have 5 members on my channel now. I want to thank Mr. R, Fabricio, Ruben Gonzalez, Gary, Carnell, and Jesse C for supporting the channel. You can be a member for as low as $1.99 a month. I appreciate that, guys. Anything like that, I have it labeled as small donations, but that helps me, you know, get the stickers, or pay for shipping when I do giveaways, even buy stuff for the giveaways, you know, all that. That's what that's for. Those donations, those members on my YouTube channel. So I really appreciate that. You know, having 5 is awesome. So in case you guys didn't know, you can become a member. Like I said, $1.99 a month is where it starts. There's different levels, but I don't expect, you know, you guys to be on the other levels. But you do get like discounts on merch and stuff. And I don't think they were in today's chat, but whether you chat on the stream or you comment, you do get a little refrigerant tank. And the longer you've been, the more you progress. So you start off with the gray tank. Some people call it the bastard gray tank, or the R12, I think is what it was. Ruben and Gary have upgraded to the 134A tank. And Jesse, who's been here for 6 months, is on the 404 tank. Appreciate you guys. That was just, you know, a fun way I incorporated, you know, the badges on here. So I want to thank them for being channel members and supporting the channel. Dave, see you at HR, bro. I sent you a message. All right, cool. Patreon, I do. I think it's in my link tree. I'll make sure it's set up. Appreciate that. Yeah, if you guys, you know, go to the link in my description, there's a link tree. I don't remember what's set up in there. I should have a Patreon. There's channel memberships. Buying stuff through my links helps. A lot of you guys, you know, buy monthly on that stuff. That's awesome. Anything I use tool-wise, you know, recommendations, stuff like that, which I do need to get to some comments because you guys were asking me about the fittings I used. These are AccuTools. I'll make sure to, anytime I mention something, I need to have description links for it, but that's off of TrueTech Tools, or you can probably find them at your supply house. I'm currently trying to get a discount link for TrueTech Tools. We'll see if that goes through. But of course, they have AHR coming up, and they just had the symposium, so they told me that they would pick up, and we can talk about it after all that. So AHR, let's get it. All right, man. Definitely see you there. I'll be at the award show. Hopefully everybody, or most of the guys, are on there. I would love to meet as many people as I can this time around. Last year, like I said, I was kind of in a hurry, so appreciate it. Good time. See you next time. I'll do another live stream next week before I head out to the AHR. Jonathan, the Depths Tech, I don't even know how to say it. Camera has worked awesome. That's great. If I do an Amazon review, because I get a ton of those emails, I pick and choose which ones I want to do, and then of course I have to use them before I even record a video on it. So I loved it, and it's a cheap thing. Some people knock on the cheap stuff, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hopefully it helps you, and you can get a lot of use out of it. It's full from all that success. Don't hate now, Richie. Maybe your Karen videos. All right, whatever. You guys are having a discussion in the chat. Adrian, let's get it. I'll see you. And thanks for coming out. I'll see you guys.